So, Father Marc, you're about to take a long bicycle ride from Florida to New York. Tell us why you're going to do this.
Well, it's a pilgrimage. St. Augustine, Florida is celebrating their 450th anniversary of being the Catholic presence in North America this year. And so part of our hope is to bring an awareness to vocations as we go down and use physical energy to accomplish our mission. Originally we had thought of maybe starting by leaving New York on bike and biking down to St. Augustine's, but we realized that a pilgrimage means that you go and come back, and so we decided to drive down with the cooler weather kind of on our back and then drive back up.
All right, who's going to be on the bicycles with you?
There's 2 priests and 3 seminarians from Cathedral Seminary House of Formation. Father Joseph Fitzgerald, who's the vocation director for Rockville Center, and myself are the priests supporting the spiritual mission of the pilgrimage. And then the seminarians, representative of the house, Stephen Rooney, who's one of our seminarians, sophomore, Stephen Diaz, who's a junior, and Dominic Weigel, one of our pre-theologians.
So where did this idea come from? I mean, this isn't something that just pops into people's heads?
No, it's actually interesting. Stephen Rooney, the youngest of the member of the team, did a bike and build pilgrimage.
Like a bicycle across the country he did, right?
He did, from Rhode Island all the way to Sacramento. And as part of that, he was trying to raise awareness for homelessness and advocacy for affordable housing. But it was a secular group, and one of the things he found on it is that there wasn't that prayer support. And so when he came back, we were talking about how it could be better, and so that's where the idea came from.
So what's going to happen along the way? Do you have set stops you're going to make? Are you going to stay with people? How are you going to let people know that you're out there doing this?
Well, we have contact with all of the vocation directors in the different dioceses that we're riding through, and so they're supporting the ride by giving us lodging and then also helping us with food, and then also organizing different events, youth events, parish events, so that we can meet people and talk about vocations and bring awareness to that element of...
How many dioceses will you be going through, and how long is this entire trip?
We'll be traveling through 11 dioceses, we'll be traveling through 15 dioceses in 11 states.
Oh, okay.
And it's for a month, so we're leaving here in New York on the 15th of May, and we'll be returning on the 15th, the 14th of June.
Now, I know Father Fitzgerald is an athlete, right?
He is.
He's an Olympian.
He is.
Right? But the rest of you guys, now, how are you training for this thing?
Well,
I mean, how many miles do you have to go each day, first of all?
Well, on average, we've been trying to get in 2-hour rides, which is about 30 miles.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it's out on the road, or sometimes it's on stationary bikes. Really, it's really logging time on the seat and pedaling that we're kind of concentrating on right now. But as we get closer, like in this next week, we still have a 4-mile ride that we need to do to prepare for it. So.
What's the spirit like among these guys? Are you excited? I mean, what are you feeling right now?
Right now, we're excited to kind of get going. I think they're in a little bit of a pressure cooker because right now they're finishing exams and papers, and so their minds are a little concentrated on that. And so Father Joe and myself are kind of behind the scenes trying to put a few of the last things together so that the trip will be a good success.
Yeah. It's going to come to its completion in Rockville Center, I guess, at St. Agnes Cathedral?
It will, but we'll be at St. Patrick's on Friday night, and then
in Manhattan?
And then Saturday morning at Dunwoody for a youth event there.
What's the dates on that?
That would be the 12th of June, Friday the 12th of June at St. Patrick's. Then on the 13th in the morning at Dunwoody, up in Yonkers, and then we'll be traveling from Yonkers to the Co-Cathedral St. Joseph's in Brooklyn.
Right here in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, and we'll have a mass and then an event afterwards to kind of recap the pilgrimage and to share some of our insights and hopefully to encourage vocations here in our own backyard.
Sure. And people can keep up with you by watching Currents, because we're going to ask you guys to call in at least once a week so we know where you are, what kind of progress you're making. And I understand you're using some social media also to stay in touch?
We are. We created a webpage, www.biking4 with the number 4 vocations.org, and on that we'll have updates daily with a map, an interactive map of where we've been, and a blog kind of with what we've experienced.
Yeah.
We have a Facebook page and Twitter and a whole bunch of other things.